G'day team, we are in far North Queensland, in fact just off the coast of Kurrimine Beach, home of the Kurrimine Beach Classic, a great fishing competition held at the beginning of the September holidays every year, so come on up and check it out. We are using a Shimano jig today. I do like to use these, haven't used them in a long time. I thought we're out here, let's give it a crack, see how we travel, and this is the Boku Boku. They come in a different variety of weights, and of course what we're also using here is a lightweight jig stick. I've got here the OSHA jigger, it's a 2000, and I've also got here the game type slow J for jig. So it's going to give me that nice little slow roll pitch, and that should bring the fish on the bite. We'll get into the braid shortly, but the jig's waiting. Let's give it a crack and see how we go. What is that thing?
I'm not sure. You got a jobbie, mate.
Green jobfish.
Green jobbie.
How cool is that thing? Very good eating.
One of the predators on the reef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a lot of those up here, mate, like for when you're
Mate,
going general fishing?
Yeah, you do, and you get them when you're fishing the style that you're fishing now.
Right, okay.
So, but yeah, like you say, these are one of the better eating fish. Have a look at the choppers on this one.
I'll just get my fingers in there. Wow. Yeah. Really rip that jig. That's a jig you want in your tackle box, everybody. Look at that thing. Gaudy. It looks prehistoric. Like it's got big teeth. It's got the bones here looks like something out of Jurassic Park.
They look tough, don't they?
They look tough.
Beautiful fish.
I have eaten these before out in the Pacific. I find them a really nice eating fish. What about yourself on the palate?
Yep, yeah, I don't mind them at all. Cousins to the rosy jobfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good eating.
I'll tell you what, that one there is going to come home, and the Boku Boku again, mate.
You're cleaning us up.
Mate, it's out doing the squid and the pillies at the moment. I'll tell you what, I'm not saying that, a good variety is always a good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Because one day the lures will not work, bait works, and other times you just don't know what you're going to catch.
And just quietly, it's good that you're actually contributing for once.
Thanks, mate, I tell you. I know last time, I didn't do too well, did I?
Have a look how big he is through the flanks here, like he's a solid fish.
He's a fat fish on that light gear. So that gear, I'm going to run through the gear with you shortly, but just goes to show that you can pull up pretty decent fish off a reef with a light tackle.
Absolutely, yep.
Cool, mate. Alrighty. I'll tell you what, that Garmin sounder, look at it, she's lit up like a Christmas tree.
Mate, there's some fish down there, but yeah, certainly helps when you've got eyes like that under the water.
You're not wrong. All right, let's get him going.
So what I'm looking for here are these bommies. So that's what we want to fish on. So we've just come over the top of that bommy. I'm going to set ourselves up on the downward wind side of it. The wind's going to push us back up over the bommy, and hopefully that should put us right on the fish as we drift back over it. So that's what you need to look for. So as you can see here, the chirp sonar is picking up the school of fish on top of these bommies. And what this is telling me here is that we've got bait schools here, but what I'm really interested in is these individual fish, these heavy arches here. There's some down in here. And that's perfect target separation, and that's what you get when you've got a really well set up chirp sonar.
Hey, nice little trout. Ripper reader, only small, beautiful colours. A little bit bigger, buddy, please. There we go. Only little hooks, but geez, they certainly are sharp. Thanks, mate. Beautiful. Look at that, lovely colours. Put him in the sunlight, so iridescent. Put him in the water.
What do you reckon you've got, mate?
I don't know, buddy. I've got,
oh, here he comes.
on that Boku Boku jig. I love those Boku Bokus. They're really, really cool.
Right.
Hey! I'm not saying no to this one, everyone, because that, my friends, is a beautiful cold trout on the Boku Boku jig from Shimano. Have a look at that, beautiful colours. Absolutely annihilated it. And what I have done here, a bit of a secret squirrel, which I haven't really told the boys I'm doing, is down here I've got a little bottle of this stuff. It's aniseed. Used to be, if I'm correct, illegal in some fishing competitions, but you can buy it over the shelf at Anaconda. It's an aniseed scent, so I just spray a bit on there, keep it down beside me, and drop it down. But that is a beautiful cold trout, mate.
Beautiful,
eh? Absolutely stunning. on that jig. And it's a good jig, these, because the actual weight here, it does slide down, so it becomes like a float lining rig. And then you've got, on the way down, you've got your plastics there in your tails that also do the job, so the fish can grab it on the way down. So they're a really good little jig and nice and light as well. We'll get him unhooked, put him in the ice bucket and have another go. Here's a good one.
Yeah, this will be a good fish out here. This will be a nanny.
He's not coming up.
We're away from the reef a bit here, Paul. And quite often, when you get away from the reef, you start to get into that sort of nanny country and red emperor.
Yep.
It looks like you might be onto a decent fish here.
Mate, I am. I just need to get here, turn his head and get a couple of turns on this reel. So I think I've got a little bird's nest there, Gordy, and
okay.
The line is not really... This is a big fish, buddy.
Reckon he's a fish or a grey suit?
No, he's a fish. He's a fish.
There's actually a show on the sounder there that fish has come off of too, so
Right.
and that is very, very red fish to me.
Oh! Mate. He did me.
It happens.
He did me. You know what, on this trip I brought up one Boku Boku and that was it.
And now it's gone.
And now it's gone. I tell you what, that is a rig and a jig to definitely sink your teeth in on your next excursion when you're stepping outside. I'm going to check my tackle box because there's got to be something else that's similar. So hopefully that Boku Boku, that might just get me back down. Fingers crossed. And if you don't see us, that means I didn't have one, and we're going to throw to some tips. We'll see what goes on. So I found another one. I had another Boku Boku in my tackle box. This one here doesn't have much skirt on it, but I'm going to give it a crack. There are three parts to the jig. We have the jig head, the weight, then we have our skirt, which is similar to a spinnerbait skirt, and we have our hooks down here on this end. So all we have to do is make sure that we tie, or basically place, we want the emblem Shimano written so it's readable, not upside down. That way you know that it's perfectly aligned onto your line and it goes straight through. So we feed that through like so. The next part is I'm just going to put through here my line. It's going to go through the actual skirting here, like that. That slides down your line. And the next part is we tie on our hooks. With the hooks, all I'm doing here is a uni knot. I think they're one of the best knots on the planet. They will not come undone because you are wrapping the line around the inside of it and it just bites down on its own friction. Therefore, it will not come undone. It's a very, very good knot. Wet her up, slide it down, pull the tag in. That's how you tie the uni knot. So there's our jig all set up, ready to go. Pretty simple stuff, but I reckon that's going to be enough to get the fish going. The rig I'm using here as well, I'll bring it over, is our Osha jigger. Great little jig. You've seen us use this many times around the country and in the international waters. We also use the game type J Slow jig. This is a fantastic rod, PE3 or PE4 is ideal. The real Osha jigger, okay, this is the 2000 NRHG, high gear, basically that means. And I've got there some nice light 60-pound Osha 8 braid. And I also run a wind-on leader, okay? So it's got some DAC on there, runs down to 60 or 80 pound. That's generally enough to get us going. So I've tied that on. We've got our last Boku Boku. Let's see if we can lose it. Yeah, fish on. Not a record breaker, but it's okay. The beauty of this rod, it's got a really long butt on it, and I really like that. Jam it under your arm. It gives you that ability to pump and wind the fish with ease, and your hand just cradles that reel ever so easily. What's that, mate? Hussa, 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 hussa. A little bit of squid on there. I've lost my major tentacles after that. That's the jig I found. Normally you have a couple of big tentacles that just arms that come off here, similar to what an octopus or maybe even a cuttlefish would have, but For me, I thought I'd put a squid head on there. It's got those long arms on it as well. It pulled the smaller fish, but not the bigger one. But that's okay. A lot of fun. Well, a little hussar. That's going to end our trip here. We've got a couple of hours run back to the mainland before we head back to accommodation. So that's us. The Boku Boku, a great jig. Get a couple in your tackle box, maybe even a few more, because when you lose that one, you're just going to need another with those longer tentacles. Absolutely awesome lures. Here's some tips to get you under the way.
For me, I love to use a lightweight PE3 Shimano jig combo, preferably an overhead. 60-pound fluorocarbon leader is enough. Slow jig the pinnacles, don't be too erratic. Work the bottom third of the depth of water. And remember, set your drag and hang on.
And of course, thanks for watching Step Outside YouTube channel for lots of cooking and fishing action. Like, subscribe, and of course comment for more catches like this and cooking recipes.